big bargain to do. I drove into the northern entrance. It was gorgeous. It was majestic. It was like these giant rocks of color and size and just clarity. It was incredible. And then I went and I did the first and only touristy thing. So I walked the boards all the way up to Mammoth Hot Springs. You're not allowed to have dogs here. Okay, we're climbing this. I don't know what that thing is. Okay, we are walking all the way up there. I just saw cars at the very top, so I think you can drive to the top. So I'm gonna try that. The walking part was a little on the disappointing side, although it was good exercise. You get there, like the view I just had from this like pullover on the side of the road was really nice. Definitely the way to enjoy this park from my standpoint is from a car. But then I got in my car and continued to drive. And from there I went to Lamar, which was amazing. These beautiful buffalo. It was like a herd of 50, and they started on one side, and you're driving along. They didn't do much. They moved very, very slow. And then they crossed the road, and then they like walked on the road, total traffic jam. And it was so wonderful. And Sammy was barking at them. I ended up dropping him through the space between the seats so that he was down here. And there's enough height that he couldn't jump back up, because his barking was annoying me. I didn't want it annoying a bison, because they were like right by the car. I looked over and they looked back. I had eye contact with the bison. It was so cool. So I loved that. That was the most incredible thing. So then I go down to my campsite, and Bridge Bay is what it was called. You don't get to pick your spot, which is not a plus in my book, because I look for spots where there aren't a lot of trees, because I want my solar to get charged, not in this situation because I was driving so much. And I wanted my Starlink to work, because you have no cell service in Yellowstone. But I got this crappy little spot that was like the width of my van. You had to stay on the tar, concrete, whatever it was. And it was like slanted. So I had to sleep at the other end. I was walking like this, and something weird happens to me when I drive a lot. It's the same thing that happens like to a person on a boat. Like you get sea legs. Now, I don't know what you call it from driving. Maybe it's tire legs. Then the next day I figured, okay, so I did the top sort of curve of this grand loop or whatever. And so I figured I'd do the next bottom curve of this grand loop. And I headed for Old Faithful. I get there, it's like this giant parking lot with no parking spaces, people all over the place, like posing for their pictures by signs and stuff. And I just first of all, you're not allowed to have a dog on the boards, and I just didn't feel like going through that again. Like, it's not fun if you know you're lying. Anyway, so I didn't even look at the Old Faithful. I considered leaving Yellowstone. So what I did instead was I decided to go up to the next lower basin. The weird thing about Yellowstone is you're driving 2 hours to see a 10-minute site populated with other people all over the place like ants. then you're driving another 2 hours to see another. It's like you're driving the whole time. And I'm afraid of heights. And so many of these roads were like, they were on the edge of cliffs without guardrails. So I'm like driving like this, like white knuckling the wheel, and really nervous because then people get stuck behind me. So I pull over whenever I can when it's not like on a ledge overlooking. So it was very uncomfortable driving. It was also $4 a gallon for gas. I ended up using probably almost like $80 worth of gas. So I couldn't wait to leave. And then I had planned on staying at some little lake that I found on iOverlander, but I got to the area where it would be, first of all, the gas station I was going to stop at and fill up had no electricity, so they had no gas. And that was like, the next gas station was Cody. So I decided, I'll just go to Cody and skip this, staying at this little lake. It's not nice anyway. It was like a cold sort of gray day. So Cody's just like this dinky little tourist trap town. So I got gas and I was like, you know what? I'm just going all the way to Badlands. Anyway, I'm going to go back to writing because I have a really good scene I'm working on where stuff happens. So that's it for now.